Hello everybody, welcome to our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. It's round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of the Netherlands at Arnhem, the fourth time in a row now that we've been here. And yeah, we're getting ready to go racing again. Coming up on our studio show today, here this weekend, we have, and I can't believe it's already been 40 years, Dave Strijbos coming in. He was a 125 world champion back in 1986. He was also the first ever Dutch world champion, so it'd be great to have him in the studio. We have Ben Watson coming in as well on the Dirt Store Triumph, and then making his return to MXGP for what will be his final Grand Prix ever at home here in Arnhem, Glenn Coldenhoff. Well, before we go any further, Lisa Leyland, here we are, and it's our final GP back on mainland Europe because, you know, yeah, we've got Turkey, but in the greater scheme of things, here in Europe, and it's going to be a great one as well, isn't it? It's going to be
a very busy one, obviously, because a certain red plate holder coming in this weekend to his home GP. But also this track, it's a sand track, so you're going to expect some really fascinating races. Anything can happen this weekend, but I like that.
Yeah. And it never disappoints. Racing is always fantastic.
No, exactly.
Should we crack on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dave Strijbos, come and join us, please. And yeah, Dave Strijbos, as we said at the top of the broadcast here, 1986, he was the 125 world champion. He won a Grand Prix at 16 years old. He was world champion at 18 years old, which at the time was the youngest ever. And he was the first world champion from the Netherlands. And he joins us now. Dave Strijbos.
Thank you, Paul and Lisa.
Welcome
for inviting me.
Welcome to our studio show. And I can't believe it's been 40 years. It really has flown by. Before we start on talking about the championship season from '86, was motocross in the family? Did you have a relative, a father, an uncle, a brother race, or was it something that you just, you know, liked yourself?
No, my brother was riding motocross, and so every weekend we go to the races in the yacht motocross, of course, with the small bikes. And yes, then you're born like this. With the small races, and yeah, I have many enthusiast things that I want to do at that moment.
Yeah. And Dave, do you remember your first race or the first time you won a race, and what age were you when you thought, do you know what, I want to be a professional racer?
Yeah, I can remember some small things, but I remember that I started with the small bike, of course. And yeah, I started, I think, around 7, 8 years old, and you know, then you're gonna win races with the small bikes, and then yeah, you have a good goal. I mean, that you want to go further.
Yeah.
And of course, I go watch also another races, World Championship races, and yeah, I was very enthusiastic, you know, to catch also one time at that. Yeah, what I see at that moment.
Yeah. Well, look, 1984, let's fast forward a little bit. In just your second ever GP, I believe, Stevensbeek, the Netherlands, you won, 16 years old, with a second and a first. How big a moment was that for you at the time? Did you realize how big that moment was, or did it just feel like you just won a round of the Dutch Championship, maybe, because you were so young, you didn't really understand it?
I think so. At that moment, I didn't understand, and you know, I had a goal, and I started with the 125 at 13 or 14 years old, and yeah, I was not expected to win that race normally, but you know, you are so motivated, and yeah, you go in the race and you want to do, you give all 100%, and yeah, this was the result. You know, that was absolutely. Yeah, not expected.
Yeah.
Well, fast forward to 1986, you won the 125cc title. Quite an intense season because it was a season-long battle with John van der Berg. How was that season for you, and what was the rivalry like between the two of you?
This season I can make a very long story, but I mean, in the beginning I had also an accident with my shoulder, and that was a difficult year for me, but. You know, I think I was mentally very strong, and I want to be yeah, the world champion that year. So I gave everything to make it that year. So and that was very quick because, you know, I started 84 my GPs, and then I finished 6th in the world championship. My second year, 85, I finished 2nd. So just one place left, you know, to beat.
Yeah, and we mentioned John van den Berg a moment ago. Obviously, you grew up in the same town in Os, or
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I think it was 1987. There was a moment with you two at the GP in Holland and Valkenswaard where the last lap or 2 laps to go, you both crashed, both wanting to win the GP. You had the Van den Berg fans, you had the Strijbos fans, and there was a moment, or the story is so big now.
Yeah.
The fuel tap got turned off on John's bike, and he was saying it was your fans or the marshal or something.
Yeah.
It was that kind of era for these kind of things that happened.
It was funny after the race because at the end I win the GP. So for me, I was smiling after the race, of course. But we was far in the front of the third rider. I mean, almost 1 minute in the front, and then, you know, there was coming a place. I was like 35 minutes already behind John on the back wheel, and I see one place where I can pass him. And yeah, that was that corner to the, I remember like yesterday. Yeah, that was the right corner. I go inside, John go outside. So and that was my moment, you know, to push him before his bike. But I think he don't see me, that I was coming from inside. And, you know, when you're coming from inside in motocross, yeah, you need to brake when you're coming from outside.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think he don't see. And yeah, we crashed together. And then there was, after that race, you know, many rumors, that and that. But, yeah, I can tell you, when you want to win, you have no time to think about to close the gas.
It wasn't you.
Yeah,
we know that.
For sure, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Was there another GP where you thought actually the title could be yours, like maybe Argentina?
And this is back in 1986, so we come back 1 year now, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell 85, I was very close also. I was 4 times second. But I was 2-3 years very close, you know. But in Argentina, I remember 85. I lose my title. Okay, that's racing, but I lose my title because I have my at that moment we don't have the Moose tire.
Yeah.
Because I have both races. I had a flat tire. So in the first race I remember I had both flat tires, front and the back.
Yeah.
So, but still I finished. But yeah, it was just maybe 12 or 13 points I lose from Pekka Verkonen. But yeah. I was not thinking about that. I was thinking, okay, then next year.
Yeah. And then it was Argentina in Salto the following year, I think, where you were close to winning the championship.
Yes.
You had a perfect weekend. Was that a moment where you thought, okay, this is almost mine now?
Yeah, I know already. You know, when nothing happened, of course, the last race in Brazil and Belo Horizonte. I remember it was on 31 of August, 86. I was feeling it's coming good now.
Yeah. And just really quickly, you were the youngest world champion, as we said, 16 years old, 9 months and 16 days. Did you understand how big it was to be world champion at that time at 16 years old? Not really?
Not really.
And also the first ever from Holland?
I can say I'm a quite cool man. And yeah, I want to go further. I want to have more. And, you know, that time goes so quick. I mean, 10 years professional motocrosser, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, look, before we let you go, stats: 70 podiums, 27 Grand Prix victories, 57 race wins, 135 times you finished inside the top 3 in a race. Wasn't so bad, was it?
I can say only think about good memories back. And we hope in the future we see, of course, many good races. Also tomorrow, of course, with Jeffrey and Kai de Wolf. Yeah, let's see what happens. I enjoy the races, so let's hope I can do this for many years more.
Perfect. Dave Strijbos, thanks for joining us here. Always a pleasure to see you.
Okay.
Enjoy your weekend here at Home GP.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much.
Just wait there 1 second. Right, our next guest, Ben Watson, is coming in to join us in a few moments' time. But before we catch up with him, here's a little snippet of our latest episode from Behind the Gate, Perfection from Le Mans. We follow Kai de Wolf and the Nissan Husqvarna team. Enjoy this.
Just
One of the most prolific teams in the paddock at the moment is Nissan Husqvarna. Let's talk about Kai de Wolf specifically. He came in there as a 125 EMX Championship rider in 2019. And his star has clearly been on the rise. 2024 was the most successful campaign for him and for Nissan, where he and his teammate Lucas Koonen were first and second in the MX2 World Championship. A lot of history within the team, there's a lot of support within that team, and it is one of the most popular and one of the most professional structures within the paddock. Obviously, we've got MX2, and then we've got the MXGP class, where that continuation of Kai de Wolf has now moved to the Premier class. They seem to have the manpower and the belief and the confidence with everybody involved to try and make that work, and they are making it work.
Yeah, of course I want to first secure an MXGP title before I would do anything else, and I think that's the most important thing for me at the moment, to get an MXGP world title, and I think it will be perfect to do this with this team. They've been with me since the beginning, so everybody knows me, knows how I act, let's say, and they know when I'm on an off day, so they won't start stressing if I'm having a day off or whatever. They know I will put in the work, and I think that's what helps the most. People who know you in and out. So yeah, I'm really happy with this.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our second guest joins us now, Ben Watson, Dirt Store Triumph Racing. Good to see you, Ben. The year is almost over, but for you personally, for this year, new team with Triumph, how's that been with you, with Triumph, and what's it been like having a couple of British teammates in the form of Tommy Searle and Billy Askew sort of alongside for the ride?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a fun year. First year where I feel like a big change happened. Obviously been living in Belgium since 2017 when I started with Yamaha, and then yeah, this is the first year I've been back in the UK, living at home, racing the British Championship again, and yeah, with a smaller team, but just I think one that's more enjoyable and you know, a bit more back to your roots, where they're still helping young riders and you know, doing those smaller championships to try and develop riders into this where we are here in MXGP. So yeah, with Tommy it's fun, but also with Billy it's like you have such different personalities and different stages of life. You've got Bill just getting his career like really started, and then you've got Tommy who's on the end. So it was good for me because it was, with Tommy you can learn so much experience in GPs, and you know, one of the most successful riders to ever come out of the UK.
Who does better scrubs, you or him?
Tommy, especially if you ask him, yeah.
You just mentioned it a moment ago, you're now living back in the UK. How is that after being so long on the continent and in and around Belgium? Do you miss Belgium at all?
It's nice to go back.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I missed it a little bit, and especially the riding side, but then when I came over for Lommel and then I've been here again this week, I'm like, sometimes, you know what, no, I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Well, you're only doing the European rounds of MXGP. How was it when you arrived in Andalusia, having missed Argentina?
Really good. I didn't feel like I was
strange, just because you get used to all that, you know, the video shoots, the photo shoots, and the bands and catching up with everybody.
I mean, that's the part of it that I'm not really massively into, is all the social media side of it and the photos. And sometimes I like to just arrive at the track, get on my bike and go ride. So
Righto, Jeff.
I don't know, just that part I didn't really feel like I missed it too much. But then I got into Spain, and I still feel like that was fresh for a lot of riders. You know, coming back to the first European round and a complete new track for everyone. And I don't know, I had a good weekend there, so of course I'm going to say it was good.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, it has been a little bit of an up and down season, but you have had a few kind of decent rides. Andalusia was one of them. Lommel was another one. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. And it was strange because it's been mostly the sand races this year. Even though I've had quite a good feeling, like Czech Republic, for example, I felt like I was riding really well, and then, Spain in the start of the year. There's a few races where maybe I wouldn't have expected to do well or ride well, and I have, and then, I don't know, like in Lommel, Nothing really changed. I just rode like I normally would, and I don't know, I just had good speed. I was strong, and I just rode well, yeah.
Brilliant.
Almost like a training day.
Yeah, it was, but you say that, I haven't, since the GP last year in Longwell, I haven't rode there or really done any sand riding. We just did a good winter camp in Sardinia, and then we had obviously the Riola GP, and I don't know, I really came to Longwell this year with a little bit of a question mark as to, you know, am I going to get back into sand like usual? And I rode in Derna in the week on the Wednesday with Roman a little bit, and yeah, my first sessions was a bit like, oh, this feels strange.
Yeah.
And got better throughout the day, and then I arrived at Longwell, and I don't know, I just felt comfortable from the get-go.
Sometimes you can just get caught in your own headspace that you have to be there every single day, week, when everyone else is there, but they're all on the stopwatches, and you know, then you get to the GP, it's different anyway. So
yeah, and I don't know if, because I haven't rode that much sand, that I got there and I thought about everything a little bit more, like my line choice, and not to do too much in the first sessions because it was obviously a warm day then, and I don't know, I just thought about it a little bit more instead of just going and putting the hours in the sand and then getting to the race and just expecting it to all come to me.
What was the goal at the start of the season, and do you think you've kind of achieved that goal?
It was hard because being a new bike, not really any experience around the 450 Triumph, so throughout the winter, like, I had a good feeling, but then when everything steps up, the pace steps up, it gets, you know, you start changing little things, and I got a bit lost throughout the middle of the year when I went through the first, you know, Spain and the first British round, and everything was going good, and then we got to the harder tracks and the speed started getting higher, and I was changing too much and I got a little bit lost. So I had a bit of a dip through the middle of the year, and then at one point we just came together and said, let's put everything back from, you know, how it was in the winter go, and I've not changed barely clicks the last few weeks now, so just slowly getting back into that rhythm, and it's a bit of a shame that it's all coming to an end actually, like I don't know, I feel like, I don't know about you, but the year's just absolutely flown by.
Since France, it's absolutely flown by because we've just gone 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. But so coming to the end then, is this going to be your last GP this year, or is Turkey considered a European round for you and the team?
No, it's not. This
so
will be
does
my
Bill
last...
go next week as well then, or not?
Bill's not going to do Turkey. No.
Okay.
No. So this is the last one for us. So yeah, we've got a bit of a break after this, and then obviously last British Championship round, and then the Nations.
Well, you've been selected for Team GP for the Nations. A couple of new teammates. You've got Ben Mustoe, you've got Taylor Hamill in there as well. What's the vibe between you guys, and do you know them pretty well or not?
I know them. I know Taylor a little bit from the past, but Ben, no, I've not, to be honest, really spoke to him. I've seen him around at the British, and I think what's cool for him is he's done a few world runs this year. He's put himself there on the map and actually had a couple of solid results. So I feel like that's maybe what's earned him the 250 slot. And then, yeah, I don't know about the second 450 rider. Obviously, Conrad has proved himself to be really worthy of it, but then I don't know the situation, what happened there. And Taylor obviously came in Matterley, had a real standout ride and showed himself again. So it's one of them. I think Mark's just decided to take a bit of a fresh team and try and think a little bit more about the future.
Yeah. Well, actually, what was the best Nations team you raced on, and why?
The standout Nations for me was 2018, purely because of my result.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, to have Tommy and Max, like two good friends, and my first ever Nations, it was just like a great experience. We had a house there in America, and we went and played golf before, and I don't know, it was just like a real enjoyable week. And especially when you go into America, it was like just a real good experience as well. And then obviously 21 was a big standout one. It was obviously a bit strange, but
you won the class? Yeah,
I won the MXGP class, and to have Sean Simpson as a teammate as well was real fun. And yeah, we just, again, I think we was 1 or 2 points or something from winning, which was a bit of a shame for us, but it was still, to stand on the podium again was really nice.
I know I thrive on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Still, every year, you know, still the last team, but so close, so close.
You were standing there saying, come on, boys, we're really excited.
Come on, 2 more points, 2 more passes, you know.
Please crash, Ben.
No. I would love you guys, you know, I would absolutely love it. But look, Ben, we are out of time, and, you know, enjoy this weekend. It's a bit of sand, everything right down your street. But normally we say, wait there, we're going to introduce a video clip. But we've got Glenn Coldenhoff coming in. Obviously, he's riding his last Grand Prix. So Ben, thank you. As you leave out of there, Lisa and I are just going to ad-lib a little bit, and we're going to bring in Glenn. So enjoy the weekend, Ben, and yeah, all the best for the rest of the season. We'll see you at the Nations.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, some great insight there, and you know, obviously Ben is going to. Yeah, you're good. Ben is obviously going to, you know, enjoy this weekend. Glenn Coldenhoff, I'm sure, is going to enjoy his weekend as well, with it being his home Grand Prix and first Grand Prix of the season. And we've not seen him since Australia last year.
And he's a very busy boy this weekend as well.
Yeah, and Glenn, welcome to our studio show. Before we talk about what this weekend means and everything else, here's some of your best moments from MXGP. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Red Bull KTM factory racing, gets a bit deep in the route, makes a mistake, and Coldenhoff goes through. Coldenhoff moves into 4th place and takes over the lead in the Grand Prix. Roman Febvre, wait for him to come out of the final turn, and he's got them all queuing up. Febvre, Boutron, Coldenhoff, Tixier, and I wonder if Coldenhoff knows. He'll know as he comes over the Dragon's Back, that's for sure. We need a camera down there to see the celebrations. He wins. He wasn't aware of it until then. And Jake Nichols will take 2nd overall. Glenn Coldenhoff. 2 corners to go. 2:59. Glenn Coldenhoff, Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe, takes a long look over his shoulder. He knows now the checkered flag is going to wait, and he takes his first ever race win in MXGP. His girlfriend down there is the first to celebrate. And Glenn Coldenhoff, Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe, takes his winner's trophy from Dr. Wolfgang Streb, the FIM Europe president. His first win in MXGP. But Glenn Coldenhoff, standing construct KTM, on the top step of the podium in MXGP once again. Only the 2nd time in his career. The last time was Latvia 2015. But Glenn Coldenhoff may just hang on. 1 jump, 1 corner to go. A quick pull of the tail off so we can see the finish line. And Glenn Coldenhoff, he will cross the finish line here. He wins race 2. He wins the Grand Prix. A first ever race win for Gas Gas. 2 corners to go for Glenn Coldenhoff. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider wins race 2. He wins the Finnish Grand Prix. And that is a Grand Prix 2 years in the making for the Hoff. It's going to be a 1-2-3 for Monster Energy Yamaha in race 2 as well, with Siwa and Renault crossing the line 2nd and 3rd. But with a 2nd and a 1st, and a first Grand Prix victory in just over 2 years, Glenn Coldenhoff with a 2nd and a 1st will stand on the top step of the podium. Third overall, his 2nd bronze medal. Fantastic season for him. 6 or 7 podiums for Hoff. Hello everybody, welcome back to the final part of our studio show here with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Glenn Coldenhoff, welcome once again. Just looking back at some of those memories down there, you know, from your first GP to your last GP. Some great memories, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. It's been a long time, you know, to see the images from back in 2013. And I remember my first win there. I think I finished 3-4 in the motos for winning my first GP. It was kind of crazy, but, you know, all good memories. Really, really enjoyable video.
Yeah, well, like you said, your first GP in MX2 was in Matterley. How did that win feel at the time?
Yeah, I remember it was pretty tough because I was many times 4th overall in the beginning of that season, and then I think a couple of weeks before I had my first podium, and then my first win and another podium. You know, I feel like actually my career started kind of in that year, you know, like first podium, first win, and from there on, you know, it went better and better, I would say. Yeah. So it's a pretty special memory. Yeah.
2 years later, you won your first GP win in the MXGP class. Actually, you weren't really considered as a favourite at that time, but how was that win for you in Latvia?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
On that time, it's kind of funny because I was in Suzuki on that time, and I got to know, I think, a couple of weeks before that there wasn't any place for me, and, you know, I really had to make it happen. And I was speaking to Claudio De Carli on that weekend, and he said to me on Saturday, like, it's important you be on the gas. And that's exactly what I did during that weekend. And I think on Sunday night I signed with, close to signing with them. So it was, yeah, another good memory and good story.
And also with a race win.
Yeah, also that. Yeah. Yeah, first moto win, and second moto I got second, I guess. But yeah, in MXGP, you know, it's been always very tough. Many good competitors, and yeah, it seems like Latvia quite suits me well, because I'll win in 2020 again there. So
I was going to mention that, but before we do, when you talk about many good riders, you had a difficult era with Tony, and obviously Jeffrey was in there as well. Paul Lam was in there. Naga was in there. You know,
Desal.
There's so many good riders.
Yeah.
Obviously Strijbos in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a who's who of GP riders and winners and world champions.
Yes.
And potential world champions.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. On that time, the class was also really strong, like it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still very strong, and especially with that 8 limits, you know. At this time, everybody goes up to the MXGP class, even some young kids, while they're not even 23, moving up already. You know,
Yeah.
it's definitely the biggest class right now, and yeah, strong competition.
Well, you did win again in Latvia. You also won in Imena and Ullavala. We saw the last one there in Finland in 2022. Which was the most memorable for you from the 6 GP wins that you took? Was it the first one in Madsley because it was the first one, the last one because your teammates were there on a podium as well in Finland, or maybe another one somewhere?
I think my best GP win was the one in Sweden.
Yeah.
And because I really had to fight for it, I made a pass in the last lap on Paul Jonas, I guess, was that. And yeah, that was a good feeling, you know, especially the week before I won in Imola, and then the week after in Sweden. Again, yeah, and then, you know, I was on a roll.
Yeah.
That season started very tough, but you know, the last 5 races I made 5 podiums and didn't finish outside of the top 3.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah.
And that was with standing again, right?
Yeah.
So another
correct.
3rd overall.
Yes.
The first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's nice. You know, I have good memories with him from standing, and to have him on my jersey also now this weekend, it's kind of special, because I feel like my career started more or less with him, you know, and back in 2013, and now doing here my last GP. To have him on my jersey, it's yeah, it's.
Is
a
he
nice
coming
thing.
this weekend?
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I guess your biggest win came in Assen,
Yeah.
Motocross of Nations. You personally went 1-1 in the races. Team Netherlands won the overall on home soil, and the King was there to actually witness it. How was that weekend for you?
And
Yeah.
I like the way you all sang the national anthem here, by the way. We have the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better don't play that.
No, but it was a big moment. I mean, you
Yeah.
can even listen if you want, but it's up to you.
No, it's amazing. It's been, you know, especially the year before we went 1-1 and 1-2, and obviously Calvin got injured that year, so we should have won the year before as well. But yeah, this is amazing. Having the King there in the Netherlands with our home crowd.
For the first time ever to win for the Netherlands.
Yes, exactly. You know, it's supposed to happen already the year before, but to do that in the Netherlands, it's yeah, it was insane.
One of the highlights of your career?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest highlight of my career.
Yeah.
The roar of the crowd here, because they all sang really loud, was also impressive. Like when I selected this clip a couple of days ago, this now, listen to this.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely
Amazing.
fantastic.
Amazing.
Well, look, it is your final Grand Prix of your career this weekend. No better place than to do it at home, in front of your home fans, because obviously you are racing in Brazil now. Of course, you've retired from GPs. What does this Grand Prix mean to you this weekend, and what are you hoping for?
I mean, first of all, the most important thing is that I enjoy the weekend, you know, because I've been for 15 years in a role, and it continue, and, you know, once you're in there, you just go with the flow. But now that I'm out, you know, I race a little bit in Brazil, and you can, yeah, when you have a look from behind, it's, you know, I never really enjoyed it as much as I should, you know.
Or appreciated it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, that's the right word. I mean, now it's just, you know, it's one more time, like Special Kid from Alpine Star. It's going to be an amazing weekend. I'm feeling still good and still fit. Like 5th in practice this morning, so I'm feeling good, and it's good to be still up there.
Yeah.
Well, look, before we let you go, 38 career podiums, 6 wins, 13 GP wins, 13 race wins, 72 top 3 finishes, 6 Motocross of Nations medals, including a win, 4 silvers, 1 bronze. Not too shabby, was it?
No, not at all. Not at all. Man, what a ride. And you know, I've been in this paddock for so long and met so many great people and rode for the most amazing teams, and I'm really grateful for everybody, you know, who's been part of my career, and I'm really thankful to, you know, get this feeling, and yeah, really enjoyable career so far.
And is this 253 starts this weekend?
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah, I think it's 253. Yeah. I think it's 253. Some people on social, oh, you should go till 259. I'm like, I don't think you will.
No. This is my last one.
Yeah, cool. Well, look, Glenn, enjoy your weekend. Great to see you. Good luck with your final round in the Brazilian Championship. I know you're just a handful of points behind there. That one's going to go right the way down to the wire. But yeah, enjoy it here at home.
Yeah.
I will. Thank you so much.
Glenn.
Thank you.
Well, look, we are out of time. Thanks to all our guests, of course, to Dave Strijbos, to Ben Watson, to Glenn Coldenhoff. This is what's coming up on the show today. Of course, we will be live for MX2 and MXGP time practice, straight into WMX. They're back for round 4, and then EMX 250, and then the qualifying races at the end of the day. We're off for a week's break after this one. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time when we start our next 3 in a row in Turkey, then China and Australia. From me, from Lisa, and the rest of the team, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.